If you're anything like me or most people, you like to be in the know, have the scoop, be up to date with the current events. And one topic that seems to be pretty consistent in the headlines is our housing market. And even though you might be all set, you are not moving, you're good, you probably know someone who is thinking about moving, and these headlines could affect their lives. And really, would it hurt you to share some of this news? Well, let's begin with the first one, which is some good news. Let's take a listen.
It's a tiny bit of good news if you're looking at median prices. What are you saying?
Yeah, we'll take what we can get, right? A lot of home buyers have been on the sidelines kind of peeking out saying, is now the time to buy. Well, good news because home prices are coming down, and we're also seeing mortgage rates come down as well. So the median home price is over $380,000 according to the National Association of Realtors. That's down 1% from November and lines up with reporting that we've seen from other reports like the S&P CoreLogic as well, showing prices sliding into the end of last year. One important caveat I want to point out, even though prices are going down, they're still above on a yearly basis. This about 4% higher than the year prior.
So that's baby steps that we're saying.
Baby steps, but again, we'll take what we can get. Prices coming down as prices coming down.
Okay.
Or maybe this sounds familiar. You probably heard something similar to this, and it goes like, I am just going to hold off to after the election. This is an election year. Things typically happen. It's going to be the Democrats or it's going to be the Republicans. I am just going to stay put for right now and see how this shakes out. And then it usually follows up with, now I have to wait and see what's going to happen after the first 100 days this person takes office. You know, I've got to see what their plan is for our economy and all the other important things that will affect my life. But honestly, are you going to turn down a chance of a lifetime? This promotion you've been waiting for, you're going to wait until November after election to say yes and to relocate for that opportunity? You've got children in school. Are you not going to get your children into a new school, probably over the summer so they can meet their new friends? Or are you going to wait until the election, in the middle of the school year? Because oftentimes children kind of resist leaving their friends. Why would you pile on all the extra resentment of the move? Or, you could be 40 years old or over. So people who normally hit 40 plus, they've lived through a couple of elections and they know that they have to continue to live their lives no matter what. So they're making a move because they've decided it's time to go. Oh, and we cannot forget the growing family. Now, when someone starts to nest and they envision themselves settling down because the little baby is coming, do you think they're going to wait till November or after an election? No. And if you're very smart, which I hope if you're watching this video, you're extremely intelligent, you know that when that nesting begins, you probably should have moved like yesterday. And anywhere, anytime that mommy says, I'm ready to move, it's time to go. And all these unknowns with the economy, with the election, the interest rates, the price of the homes, it has some people just transfixed and stuck in their current situation. Even though they want to move, some are afraid. Some have given up because they feel like, well, the country's going to hell in a handbasket, so it doesn't matter what I do or where I go, I just might as well ride this out and not do anything. Now, I don't want to unleash conspiracy theorists because I know there are plenty out there, but do you really want someone else and have your life contingent upon what other people decide to do? Democrat, Republican, Independent, whoever. And this third report, it grabbed me. Let me know if you think this is just clickbait, or could we have never considered the ramification of people in this situation? Are you ready? Well, a few weeks ago, someone handed me a newspaper and wanted me to read one of the articles. And I know what you're thinking, Tracy, they still have newspapers? Yes, they do. So they still have a newspaper where you open it and you flip from page to page and you read the articles and the headlines. Whether you get your news from a newspaper, your tablet, your computer, your phone, the headline is the same. USA Today reports that high rent is cutting American lifespan. Now, whether you think that's clickbait or not, it gave me pause because I had no idea how dark things have become for people who find themselves in that rat race of I earn money, I spend money, on that hamster wheel of I work hard every day to provide, but I'm getting nowhere, just like a hamster on a wheel. And here's what the article is saying. This is for people who are leasing a home, apartment, condo, townhome. This is what is reported. People who spend a big portion of their income, 30% or more, are likely to suffer from poor health and premature death. The threat of eviction leads to such a high level of stress that it increases the mortality rate. Now that's a lot of stress, physical, mentally, emotionally, to have that burden on you where you're spending more than 30% of your income in rent for someone else to gain equity in their property, where you're spinning your wheel and you're not gaining anything from it other than the fact you have a place to lay your head. And it's not a matter of you trying to keep up with the Joneses, you're just trying to keep up. And one of the biggest reasons I hear people willing to tear their leases, and maybe this is you or someone you know, is because they realize that they no longer have control of their lives. This is what it looks like, and this is what I'm hearing. Tell me if you can relate to this. You have a lease, but when your lease is up, you get a call from the management company that says, guess what? The homeowner now wants to sell the home. Now you have a small window to decide if you want to purchase this home, or you will have to leave the home because this home is for sale. Or you could be in a situation where the lease is up and the homeowner's expenses have increased. So guess what? They're going to pass it on to you. Now when the lease is up, they're asking you to pay more for your monthly rent. Either way, you've surrendered that control, that financial control, to someone else, because as long as they're in control and in power, you either have a choice. You do what they've asked you to do, or you're going to start all over again, finding a new home to rent. And typically, that rent is going to be more than what you're paying for now. So talk about the pressure and stress in that. Hi, I'm Tracy Sorrell with the DFW Life, and we help people sell and buy homes in and around our Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. We realize that moving here, well, that could be the easy part. The part that's not so easy is where you're going to live your life once you get here. Hey, if you are thinking about moving in 9 days or 9 months, reach out to us, give us a call, send us a comment. We want to help you realize which part of our Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex is the best place for you to create your memories and call home. Oh, and one more thing. If you're new to this channel, do me a favor. Subscribe below, press the bell, and you'll be in the know anytime anything goes down around town, around our Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Now, back to the video. This report continues to say that this amount of stress and distress can lead to cardiovascular issues, anxiety, depression, and obesity, and so many other health implications. And I can understand that. You barely have time to just grab some food. You're not going to be able to cook because you're so exhausted by the end of the day. You probably picked up extra shifts or working overtime to help offset that 30% or more that you're spending in rent. So rather than cooking and going to the grocery store, because who has time for that, you find yourself going through the fast food. You're not going to the gym. Who has time for that? You can barely keep your eyes open and perform your work at your job. You'd like to go exercise, but you can't because you just don't have the time. Exercising for you is getting in the car and coming from work and going back home and running all the errands that are required of you after you get off work. Inflation's increased, the rent has increased, there's a lot of stress. And if you have children in the mix, well, that's a game changer for almost anyone's finances. Because of course, if you have children, you want to give them the best opportunity you can afford. And sometimes those opportunities, even when you can't afford them. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. Let's say that you've decided, Tracy, I'm all in. I'm ready to get off the hamster wheel. What's next? Well, here's what a lot of people are finding that they're just decided to overcome.
They were 7%, they dropped to 6%.
Yeah.
But remember back in the day when they were 3%, are we going to see anything
I remember
like that?
when, just a few
Yeah.
years ago, right? Well, the 30-year fixed rate right now is 6.7%. That's down from 7.8% just in October of last year. And since I'm the data guy, let me crunch those numbers down into what the savings will be on a monthly basis. So that 1 percentage point drop in mortgage rates would equate to save over $220 per month over the course of a 30-year mortgage. That's going to save you somewhere above $80,000.
And affordability is a mixture of three things. It depends on the mortgage rate, it's dependent on home prices, and of course, your income. Now, mortgage rates are going down, thank the Lord. Let's just state the facts. Interest rates have decreased. So that's going to be really helpful. And that's really helpful because when the interest rates have decreased, more homeowners are starting to list their homes. So that's giving you more options and more opportunity to find something that's a real good fit for you. Well, the second thing is home prices. Home prices have starting to stabilize. They're not going up as astronomically as they were. So this could be another great opportunity for you. You might not have to pay a lot of money over what the list price is for the home in order to compete. So with that lower interest rates and the stability of home prices, you've got a win-win coming your way. Now, did I mention all the incentives that exist with new construction? I mean, whoa. I mean, those game changer. We'll talk about that later. Message me. We'll talk about the details on that. And then the last component that has to deal with affordability is your income. And what we are noticing, not what Tracy is noticing, but what is being reported is that people are starting to earn more money now than they have in past years. So this combination is a recipe for affordable home options. Now, if we're talking about affordability, let's consider some realistic options for you. Let's say, for example, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, priced under $400,000, because you can still find that, and you may have to move farther out to get it. You may have to go to the suburb of the suburbs, but we always want to make sure you are anchored in a community that has great schools. Because no matter whether or not you have a student, people who are buying homes, they still look at school rankings as one of the top reasons to move into any community. So even though we're looking for something that's affordable priced, we still have to think about resale and make sure some things are in place. Location, 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 that's the other thing. But let's say you find yourself a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home under $400,000, and they do exist. But again, they are farther out. That amount that you would spend, and it's all contingent upon a number of things. Your down payment, your credit score, is it an HOA? There are a number of things that go along in determining what your monthly premium will be to live in that home. But if you get with the right lender, that lender can break down for you exactly what that will cost you. And in the long run, you will think the price to own my own home is well worth the cost. The American dream of home ownership is still alive and kicking. Take a look at this chart. You will see that owning a home is still, not only is it part of the American dream, it's on the top of the chart for the American dream. And the primary reason people are moving is for the support of family and friends. And one way that people are finding home ownership more affordable for first-time home buyers is multi-generation living. So they have decided to pull together their money with other people in their home space so they can make it more affordable. The category that really shocked me, and I'm thinking, are you kidding, is the area where it says that people are less likely wanting to pull their money together to have that multi-generational saving of money, is the idea of having to take care of an aging family member. Now, maybe this is because this is your first home and you want to decorate it and fix it up and have your freedom, and you think an older person is going to drag you down. But you might want to get over that, because remember, older people may still have income, which can help you get to your goal, and that is living the American dream of homeownership. Okay, so you're all in. You've decided to stop renting and purchase a home. This is a segment I like to call Know Before You Go. Here are two important people you have to collaborate with, connect with. These people are your advocates and on your team. The first one is your realtor. Now, we are not all created equal. You have to be sure to connect with someone who is 1000% capable of listening to you and your needs, because if I were to ask you, you probably would say that you're unique. And truthfully, it's not a one size fits all. Everyone has their own story, their own reason for wanting to purchase a home. Whether it's your first home or it's just been a while since you bought a new home, then it's really important to align yourself with someone who actually knows what they're doing. Now, that person may not be your best friend or may not be your family member, and this may not be the person who takes thousands of pictures and puts them on social media for the likes and for the followers. Because as you know, there are so many filters out there to give the illusion of success. You want to make sure this person has a proven track record, can take you from where you are to where you want to be. And even if you're not relocating in a Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, I'm aligned with so many fantastic real estate agents who, if I were moving, I wouldn't think twice about using them. So I'll be happy to connect you with those people. And of course, if you're moving in or around Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, reach out to me, contact me, because I want to help you get to where you want to be. Now, the second person you want to align yourself with is the money person, your mortgage lender or your mortgage broker. Now, they are going to feel so intrusive and so invasive. You're going to think they're so nosy, but there's a reason for all the questions that they are going to ask. So this is what you should be prepared for. Your lender is going to need to know a lot of financial information from you. And if you have any unreported income, well, they won't be able to use that as income to qualify you for your home. So you're going to need something that has a receipt, some type of established bank or of some sort where they can actually look and verify funds. And please give them what they want. You're going to get a lot of requests for different paperwork, maybe pay stubs, proof of employment. Just give it to them. Remember, they're trying to help you. Oh, and please resist shopping. Don't shop for a home you don't own. So resist getting that huge flat screen TV or the nice surround couch you got going on, whatever you've got planned in your head for decoration. Hold off on ordering your one-of-a-kind furniture for the home until you close on the home, because you don't want anything that's going to drain your funds from your closing costs or look like an inquiry on your credit report. So no co-signing, no buying new cars. Don't buy anything but a stick of gum during this process. I sure hope that this video has been informative to you, so that if you or someone you know is thinking about moving, but they're feeling kind of stuck because, it's election year. Okay, I don't know if I can afford this. Let's get them out of the valley of indecision and wondering if. Let's get them connected with someone who could help them make some great decisions. I understand what it is when you have the big ifs out there. Well, what if this or what if that? There are certain things that we can't control. Let's focus on what we can control. The prices of homes have leveled off, and if they are increasing, they're not decreasing for sure, but not at the rate that they were a few years ago. Interest rates, you got it, you're right. They are higher than they once were, but they're not near as high as they have been. And eventually you may have the opportunity to refinance the interest rate. But one thing you can't negotiate once you move in is the price of the home. So with interest rates dropping, you've got to grab onto this opportunity. Listen, if you know someone that seems to be on that hamster wheel, and you love this person, you care about them, and you want them to get off of that perpetual run, race to go nowhere, do me a favor. Reach out to them to have them reach out to me. Comment below, send me a message, send me an email. I want to help them realize, establish a game plan, a strategy, a purpose, a reason, and hope that they can also live part of the American dream of home ownership. Let's get together to help them realize which area in our Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex or beyond is the best place for them to create their memories and call home.